Good afternoon, guys. So in our last video, we bought this entire bundle of essentially somebody's pile of shame and their exit of the Warhammer community and the Warhammer hobby. We bought that entire lot for £60, which is 600 Hong Kong dollars because I'm based in Hong Kong. And ignoring the Age of Sigma little guys here, I think that's the important thing, because these things shouldn't be included, but they are. There we go. I think that's a good place to leave the image. Let's move the light. So, of this entire pile, just to give a quick reintroduction, on the Ork side, it was the Commandos Kill Team, the Killer Cans, Squig Hog Riders, a truck. We also had an entire box of Mecha Knobs and some Beast Boys. And then for one weird reason, he then jumped to Age of Sigma and had an Age of Sigma Ork boss. There was a 8th edition squad of the old, essentially firstborn Space Marines. And that was it for the Marine side. One squad of AdMech, I don't know what they're called, Rangers or Skitarii Rangers. Some Necron, I can't remember what they're called, but the Necron Bugs, the Necron Scarabs. There was the Necron Immortals, but with like 3 different weapon loadouts, from the snipers to the big plasma guns. And then there was also a fresh box of Tomb Riders from the Necrons, the ones where it's got essentially the very cool dirt bike, essentially. So I had that to sell, and it took me a few months. As you can see, it's been a while and I've done a lot of trading, but I started by just dividing the section into Ork section and into Necron section. The Skitarii, the AdMech side, and the Space Marines, I kind of ignored them. And as you can see, the last remaining boy is this Mecha Knob, well, Age of Sigma knob that I've got no idea what I'm going to do with, but I'll find something to do with it one day. The first thing I did is I reached out to my 2 local game Ork players, and I was like, guys, I've got some really good units. Some of them aren't clean or perfect, but you guys are Ork players. You should be able to, roll with it. And I'm happy to sell it to you super cheap. My main guy, he said no, he's already got enough units. The other guy said yes, and I was like, cool, off to a great start. And basically with him, I sold the truck, the Killer Cans, and the fresh box of Mecha Knobs for £30 each, which is 900 Hong Kong dollars or 300 Hong Kong dollars, times that by 3. So just an easy 900 Hong Kong dollars or £90, which already paid for this entire lot by itself. I also then gave him some additional Space Marines, some Terminators, and a Terminator and Captain's Armor from the beginning set, but I'm not including that in the maths. And then the final creme de la creme is I just gave him those firstborns for free, just as part of what I called the Christmas box set. I'll include a photo of the Christmas box because I gave him a shoebox with everything included, and we then traded that for £120. But in terms of this lot, it was £90 got returned back to me for this. So I then sold the Kill Team, Commando Kill Team, to a Kill Team friend. I didn't want to make too much of a profit, so I just sold it to him for £25, 250 Hong Kong, like a one and done. Just, he doesn't play 40k, he just wanted a Kill Team Commando squad for Kill Team, and I said that's fine, but it comes without the tokens, and you're going to have to clean up some of the models yourself. And he agreed, and that was quite easy. So in terms of the Orks, I just had the leader, the riders, and these Beast Boys. I didn't think much of the Beast Boys. I thought they were too messy and too gunked, and the fact that they've been painted without primer, it just means there was a lot of work and love that needed to go into them. But in terms of the riders, even though that they were also very scuffed and the wrong glue had been used, I was optimistic that I listed them for £25, 250 Hong Kong dollars, and eventually a lovely Ork player got back to me and he's like, I would love them, but he wanted to pay £20 for them. I said, instead of paying £20 for them. Can you still pay the original 250 or £25? And I will just give you these Beast Boys included for free. Don't worry, I know that there is a missing body here. It is essentially found and included, so he got the full squad. He just had to clean them up for his army and just gave him that exciting project. But yeah, sold that for another £25, 250 Hong Kong. So in total, just from the Ork side itself, we got 900, 250, 250. So a beautiful 1,400 or £140 plus this leader still on tap, and we lost the Space Marines, but we still had the entire Necron half and the AdMech units to sell. So I started with the Necron stuff. The 3 bugs, I basically just listed them for £25 or 250 Hong Kong. The same thing with the Tomb Riders. I basically put them for 250 as well. I didn't even bother with the Immortals because I thought it would be useless because they've got 3 different weapon profiles. They've already been painted. There's a lot of effort in. Same thing with the Beast Boys, but just a lot more work, and then they've got the wrong weapons. So I didn't bother with them. I just listed those 2. In addition, because I have the Tomb World box, I uploaded the Necron Warrior kit for that. And I was just like, I think I had put those for £15 or 150 Hong Kong. And I was like, I'm just selling this little Necron lot if anyone wants it. Somebody approached me and was very eager to get the Necron lot. Once again, the list price of 250, 250 plus 150 for the Necron Warriors, 650 or £65. They wanted to negotiate it down to like maybe just say 550. I did the exact same thing that I did with the Beast Boys because I don't want to clean up this and I'm not a Necron player. So I just said, hey, instead of doing this negotiation, let's keep it at the original price, and I will include these Immortals. Unfortunately, there is some work that needs to be done, and you're gonna have to put in a little bit of love. He not only accepted that offer, he very generously essentially included a tiny bit of a tip and went above and beyond and gave me 700 Hong Kong, which is then £770. So super happy. Let's just take away the 150 or the £15 for the Necron Warriors, 550 for the Necron lot. Still got the AdMech side to sell, but the Necron lot basically nearly paid for this entire lot. So above and beyond, beautiful ROI, but more importantly, I've got some play money to keep growing my own personal collection. And then the final thing, which not everything has to be for profit, I basically found my other favorite kill team, one of my kill team players and spearhead friends. And I was just like, I've got this unit of AdMech. I don't like, once again, it's a lot of work that needs to go into it. And I have a Piranha from when I was a child. You can see it's been used with wood glue. It's the complete wrong glue. There's a lot of work that needs to go into this. There's huge panel gaps. But this entire thing was built when I was 8 years old, nearly 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago, actually. But just, I refused. I found this earlier on last year, and I thought it would be really cool to try and restore this and just reconnect with my childhood, basically. So I gave this unit to a friend of mine that owns a 3D printer, and he very kindly printed this for me. And what these are essentially going to be used to restore this Piranha to its former glory. And we will then just super glue and sandpaper this in, but the Piranha will come back to life very nicely. And then he also 3D printed some little drone guys for me to then work on so that they can be locked in on the Piranha. And that was basically this entire lot done for, yeah, beautiful. Like I said, I was very sad to see the person exit the hobby. I didn't negotiate at all. They just uploaded on Facebook Marketplace, and I was very happy to receive their lot for £60 and then trade it off. So now, with everything combined, I should be walking away with about like more than £100 close to £130 of profit, which I will then use to go buy and build more Warhammer and keep growing our own collection. And this will all just work towards essentially building our 40k army with a bargain. So it does take time, but these type of deals do happen and you can keep growing your collection. So on to the next video. I'll catch you guys soon. Cheers.